sexual capacity, which is lost. Here LH is absent. Fertile eunuch means similar to that of castrated man, having no sexual, incapable of doing sexual activity. So here some abnormalities due to abnormal virilization, due to the absence of LH here, but the FSH is normal. So spermatozoa can be there, but he can't do sexual intercourse. Impotence means not potent to do sexual activity. So here the symptoms like large testis, but the cells are incapable of producing the concerned thing. Then gynecomastia. Gynecomastia means enlargement of the breast in male is called gynecomastia. Enlargement of breast in male is gynecomastia. Then low ejaculate volume. The treatment of choice here also exogenous HCG or adequate LH stimulates the spermatogenesis. According to our science, you can apply this. The Panchagavya Krida or Kalyana Krida. You can try. Then isolated FSH deficiency. Here the incidence rate is very, very minimal. And here LH is normal, testosterone is normal. So normally virilized body appearance. Like fully developed muscular or accessory sex organs, everything. But here FSH is low. So the sperm count may be very, very few or absent. And it do not respond to GnRH stimulation. So nothing to do for such cases. Then pituitary causes. Hypothalamic, pituitary and peripheral. So pituitary causes. Pituitary insufficiency may be due to congenital or result from tumors. Then granuloma or iatrogenic injuries like radiation or surgical procedures. Then here the congenital insufficiency, if it occur prior to puberty, if testicular or infertility occur before puberty, the testis become small and firm. Firm means not too hard or too soft. And if after puberty, the testicles become small and soft. You should remember in mind. Then while examining, you can identify after proper development of or after maturity, one who affects such diseases, his testicle become small and soft, usually soft. And if it occur before puberty, it will be small and firm. Here, if it occur prior to puberty, there is growth retardation, then adrenal and thyroid deficiency, then secondary sex characters will not be developed, and testes become firm and small, because it develops before puberty. Then, if pituitary insufficiency results after puberty usually occur from a tumor from the pituitary. The patient usually complains of decreased libido, impotency and infertility. These symptoms occur before occurring the development of the tumor from the pituitary. That is, the symptoms occur years before the symptoms of growing tumor. These symptoms occur first, then followed by the symptoms of growing pituitary tumor like headache, visual abnormalities, thyroid or adrenal deficiency. But these symptoms occur later and these symptoms occur first. Then the testis gradually becomes small and soft because it occurs after puberty. Then secondary sex characters gradually disappear. Once secondary sex characters developed, it will disappear or takes too much time to disappear. Then hyperprolactinemia. prolactinemia. This can affect both fertility as well as sexual capacity. The prolactin secreting tumors of pituitary gland, micro means less than how many millimeters? The size. Pituitary adenoma less than 10 mm size is micro, more than 10 mm is macro. Then it results loss of libido. Some patients, you can see, I think somebody handled such patients. Impotence, then galactorrhea, gynecomastia, altered spermatogenesis, low serum testosterone, LH and FSH, low or below normal. Everything under hypo level due to the impact of pituitary tumor. Whether it is micro or macro, these symptoms can occur. Then hemochromatosis means around 80% of men with hemochromatosis having such. It may be due to the deposition of or iron deposition in the liver, testis, pituitary, or due to in case of thalassemia, inadequate erythropoiesis. Such cases require for multiple blood transfusion. In all these conditions, there is loading of or excess loading of iron, which results testicular dysfunction. The treatment is with modern this LH and exogenous LH and FSH and iron chelating therapy and removing therapy can do. Then one of the main drug of choice in our science is dadimadichiride. It is the best drug of choice for doing this. Vitamin C and B12, etc. incorporated here. The precious fruit. Then exogenous. You see, there are several types of tumors like adrenocortical tumors, Sertoli cell tumors, Sertoli cells within the seminiferous tubule or interstitial cell tumors may all at times be estrogen producing. Suppose those who are alcoholic or some liver problems, liver failure, liver cirrhosis, etc., there is always chance for increasing estradiol. There is a large quantity of peripheral conversion of androgen to estrone or androgen to estrone, and also minimal extraction or removing of androgen from the liver. Androgen from the liver and peripheral conversion is more androgen to estrogen, and the patients having the symptoms of female appearance. They here hepatic cirrhosis is associated with the endogenous estrogens. Then estrogens and exogenous androgen can prime. You see, estrogen and androgen. Suppose estrogen and androgen level with the microenvironment of the testicle is there, in the higher center, LH and FSH will be. So estrogen and androgen can primarily suppress the LH activity by a negative feedback effect. If the target organ is too much or adequate with the concerned thing, then the center will be low. That is why estrogens and exogenous androgen can primarily suppress pituitary gonadotropin secretion and thereby leading to secondary testicular failure. Similarly, current use of anabolic steroids by certain athletes results temporary sterility due to gonadotropin inhibition. Here also, those who are taking in order to activate or to attain success in the games, they are using anabolic steroids, which results elevated LH level. Gradually it will subside. Corticosteroids. Some doctors are advising steroids for prednisolone or dexamethasone or betamethasone like for rheumatoid arthritis or asthma or the like, then which results the secondary testicular dysfunction. Here also, the elevated plasma cortisol level depresses LH secretion and cause secondary testicular failure. It will depress the center. Moreover, the Cushing syndrome, so many adverse effects like double chin, then back hump, supraclavicular clavicular fat deposition. Then hyper and hypothyroidism also leads the patient to male infertility. There is increased conversion of androgen to estrogen. In case of hypothyroidism, in case female also, in hypothyroidism there is excess TSH. Higher quantity of TSH acts on galactophore cells of the anterior pituitary and releasing of prolactin. And it will alter the HPO axis. Similarly, hyperthyroidism, in case of female, there is increased T3 and T4. It binds the SHBG. So the surrounding steroid quantity will decrease, and there is unduly high LH and FSH production, which also leads to anovulation in case of female. Hypothyroidism, there is increase in TSH level, which acts on galactophore cells of the anterior pituitary. Galactophore cells of anterior pituitary results prolactin formation. Other sides, SHBG is increased. Then, what are the testicular causes of infertility? These affect the testicular spermatogenesis, then testosterone production, and most cases have oligospermia or azoospermia. The testicular causes may be chromosomal abnormality. For example, Klinefelter syndrome, then mixed gonadal dysgenesis, male Turner or Noonan syndrome, then local conditions like varicocele, it is very important, then cryptorchidism, trauma, orchitis, radiation, chemotherapy, tight underclothing, then substance abuse like alcohol, smoke, and caffeine. One by one. Klinefelter syndrome, it is a genetic, congenital or genetic disorder. It is a genetic disorder. Genetic disorder with presence of an extra X chromosome in the male. Extra X chromosome in the male, and the chromosomal pattern may be 47XXY karyotype. This is the classical form. And some patients having normal 46XY chromosome along with the abnormal 47XXY. That is the Klinefelter mosaic form. Then here the delayed sexual maturation due to the absence of or due to the excess of one X chromosome. Then results azoospermia, then gynecomastia, small and firm testis due to due to genetic defect. Then this, elevated LH and FSH. But normal or low testosterone level can be there. But so, most patients can do sexual intercourse, having normal libido, erection, and orgasm. But so, it is very difficult to identify in the early stages because they have all these things. But on chromosomal study, karyotype study will analyze this is the problem. And infertility is the ultimate result. In some cases, like mosaicism, the features, all these features are in minimal level. All these features of Klinefelter are in minimal level, and the patients may be fertile as there may be a normal pattern of cells. If the normal pattern of 46 XY chromosomes are there, excess, there having the chance of fertility. What is Noonan syndrome? Noonan syndrome is male Turner syndrome. Male Turner, similar to that of Turner in female, where the physical characteristics similar to that of the women with the Turner syndrome. On chromosomal analysis, sex chromosome abnormality, X instead of XY, here X0, like female. Instead of 46 XX, 46X0. Short stature, web neck, cryptorchidism, having the history of cryptorchidism, elevated FSH and LH, then diminished spermatogenesis, and they are also infertile. Then bilateral anorchia or vanishing testis syndrome. The patient's compliance from the very beginning with, or at birth, with non-palpable testes. Non-palpable testes, the testes are very, very small. It is very difficult to palpate. We can say there is no testis. What happened? So, later life, the sexual immaturity and absence of testicular androgen karyotype is normal. Here, LH and FSH are elevated. Testosterone is extremely low. Why? How it occur? It may be due to, in the intrauterine life itself, there is damage of testicles due to torsion, trauma, vascular injury, or infection. This can occur in the intrauterine life itself. But at the same time, there may be some limited amount of normal testicular cells for the, at least for first trimester, for the differentiation of male duct system as well as male external genitalia, that is phenotypical male. It is due to the presence of very, very minimal amount of normal testicular cells, at least in the sex differentiation period of first trimester. That helps to differentiate the male duct or the male, phenotypical male, or the external genitalia appears like male. Then in future, nothing you can palpate there. Then Sertoli cell-Woolley syndrome. I think you heard about Sertoli cell-Woolley syndrome. Number of patients come to me also. Here, see, there are several causes explaining, like congenital absence of germ cells, then genetic defect or androgen resistance. On testicular biopsy, complete absence of germ element or germ cells. In the seminiferous tubule, you can see only Sertoli cells. No germ cells are there. Only Sertoli cell. That is why Sertoli cell syndrome. At the same time, the interstitium is okay. Leydig cells are there. Leydig cells are there. So testosterone production is normal, but no spermatogenesis, no production of spermatozoa. So azoospermia is associated with the clinical findings of normal virilization because the interstitium is normal. So androgen production is normal. Then slightly smaller testis with the normal consistency, slightly smaller due to the absence of germ cells. Absence of germ cells. Then no gynecomastia because androgen is there. Then elevated FSH is the FSH trying to activate the testicular area but nothing to do. Then LH and FSH, LH, normal LH and LH and testosterone, then seminiferous tubule contain only Sertoli cell and normal interstitium. Normal interstitium. You can't treat such patients because of the absence of germ cells. So nothing to do. The local conditions like scrotal varicocele. Varicocele, one of the most frequently occurring infertility or patients coming for infertility treatment. It can be corrected. It can be corrected even at a higher level. See, it is due to the backflow or turn back of blood secondary to incompetent or absent valves in the spermatic vein. You know the main differences between arteries and veins. Arteries, the veins contain valves in order to lift the blood from below to upward. But due to the absence of vein, and also here, the internal spermatic vein drains from each testis, right and left, in which the right internal spermatic vein is somewhat oblique. Right one is oblique and the left one is vertical. So around 90% or majority of this varicocele is found where, right or left? Left, because of the vertical course and absence of valve. And around 10% only on the right side. So there is always chance for occurring unilateral left-sided varicocele. Suppose one patient is coming having only right-sided varicocele, because there is the oblique position of the vein, but there is no chance for occurring varicocele on the right side alone. It can accompany with the left side, but right side alone is not possible. So, you see, therefore, a unilateral right-sided varicocele suggests venous thrombosis or tumor or situs inversus. What is situs inversus? It is a congenital defect at which the arrangement of the internal organs just mirror image of the normal anatomy. Heart on right, stomach on everything. For situs inversus, there is chance. Right, yes. In what is incidence of varicocele? On considering the general population, it is around 20%. Around 20% of male having varicocele. But on considering the infertile male population, it may be up to 40%. It may be up to 40%. Around 50% of varicocele persons having abnormal seminal parameters, but almost all are fertile. Almost all are fertile. Then, why there are several theories proposed why varicocele causing infertility. Proposed explanations several. See, one is retrograde flow of toxic metabolites. Because of the absence of valves, there is always chance for retrograde flow. Retrograde flow of toxic metabolites from the adrenal or kidney. Then blood stagnation with the germinal epithelial hypoxia. Blood is needed to flow, but stagnation results absence of or deficiency of oxygen to the concerned cells, that is hypoxia. Then alteration in hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. These are the proposed explanations. Now conclude as all these things are possible. Then what is cryptorchidism? Undescended testis. And in some cases you can see undescended testis where it is a common developmental defect with the incidence rate only 0.8% in adult male. Here, undescended testes become morphologically abnormal only after 2 years of age. So somebody asked, when I have to, or my child is transferred to allopathy doctor for surgery, means it will be normal only up to 2 years of old. Then after 2 years, definitely it will hamper the testicular anatomy. In the adult stage, there is compromised testicular function. Then semen quality is poor in patients with bilateral undescended testis. Even though the baseline serum FSH, LH and testosterone levels may be normal, there is supernormal response of both LH and FSH to generate stimulation. If anything for giving for stimulation, it will hyperly activated. Then gonadotoxins like chemotherapy drugs, radiation or chemotherapy drugs can interfere with the germ cell destruction. So, already diagnosed cancer patients or those who require the chemotherapy, they will preserve their semen for further future purpose before undergoing chemotherapy. And it can destroy. It is a dose dependent on. Higher dose can definitely destroy the spermatogenesis. Then here some recreational drugs, heroin, this type can interfere with the testosterone production. Then mumps orchitis. Here testicular arthropathy, 1 to 6 months or more it takes due to viral toxin. And at the same time there is chance for increasing